Kane. I'm your ringmaster, and I'm here to show you the most jaw-dropping, heart-stopping, mind-bending paraphernalia you've ever laid your eyes upon!
So let's talk about the Amazing Digital Circus, which I haven't had the opportunity to really cover just yet. I am caught up in the series. I am giving it a rewatch, and I'll probably do a review and episode breakdown for each episode, as well as some theory videos just in time for the final episode to be released and give you a more deeper analysis from my part. So like I always say, these are just my interpretations and all of that. These aren't concrete. This may not be what the creator intended, but that's just what I got from it, right? So the Amazing Digital Circus is created by Gooseworks. It is being distributed through the Glitch channel, and it has become a phenomenon of sorts. I'm very excited to see how it's grown, and also just see this independent media creators and all of that just really go to the forefront. And when I heard that this was coming to the theaters, it was just insane to hear that this was going to be distributed in this way. And it's been a hell of a year for creators online, as we've also seen Iron Lung have massive success, and this is just a continuation of that, where you're starting to see this curtain sort of fall from Hollywood, and you're starting to see that creators can come in and take charge of their own content, which it's just amazing to see always. So let's talk about the Amazing Digital Circus and why I'm so excited for this. So the show is written, directed, and also created by Gooseworks. You do have a slew of characters here. The premise reads: The Amazing Digital Circus follows a cast of 6 humans, Pommy, Jax, Ragatha, Gangle, Kinger, and Zubul, who are trapped in the titular circus, a cartoonish virtual reality simulation overseen by Kane, an erratic ringmaster AI. They engage in nonsensical adventures to distract themselves from their situation, all while at risk of losing their sanity and quote-unquote abstracting into digital monstrosities. And what I really loved about this show when I first saw it is the dark humor, how aware it was, and sort of this feeling of, yeah, this is starting to feel a little eerie to today's society as well. And, it's a great show. I think the voice cast is incredible as well. Like I said, I'm not trying to turn this into a full review of sorts. I'm going to do that once I get my rewatch on all of the episodes, but I just wanted to talk about how exciting it is that this is going to be shown in theaters. I'll be watching it in theaters. I think then a couple of weeks after it will premiere on YouTube, which is pretty cool. I think that they are able to do a theater experience for it, because a couple of months when I first started watching this, I did not expect that to happen at all. And I was a little bummed to know that it was ending after one run, which is cool. It's fine. I think that a show should go on as long as it needs to and be cut whenever it needs to as well, especially if the creators and everybody involved is happy with the end product, which I think they are. But I really do love the animation here. It is very vibrant, it is zany, it is gorgeous to look at, but then the underlying story that follows in the whole show, the separate stories that each of these characters have, there is so much depth, there is so much there that you really want to unravel, and at the same time you're a little bit scared of the answers you might find. And it's that intrigue, that wonder, that suspense that really makes this such an amazing watch. And I'm curious on a rewatch, which I'm going to start today, what little details will I be able to find? Will I be able to solve this mystery of what's happening? Am I not supposed to find the mystery? Do we need to solve the mystery? We know these characters. We know how they feel. We see how much they're struggling with. And at the end of the day, sometimes that just makes such a brilliant story. Do we need the Jack-in-the-Box to appear out of the Jack-in-the-Box? That's the thing, right? And I think that this is what makes it such a compelling watch, because you're watching these characters spiral and you're trying to figure out how they can get back to some normality. Do you need the answers, or do you just need them to go back to normality? That's what I'm wondering here. So we'll see what happens once the finale appears. But overall, I am impressed with the show. I really love it. It's one of my favorite things I've discovered this year. I know it came out a couple of years ago with its pilot, which was a massive success when it came out, and eventually led them to be you know what? We got a hit here. And I think the factor that makes it so incredible is that they didn't care that it was going to be a hit, right? They were just making the show they needed to make. And I want to talk more about the conception of it, because it deals with another story that I have been intrigued for some years now, which I think is just one of the most incredible stories out there. And I'll talk more about that in another video once I do the rewatch, so stay tuned for that. But leading up to the film coming out next month, I think a month from now exactly, we'll be releasing about 2 episodes per week, talking about each episode and theories and all of that of what's to come and what exactly it could all mean. So stay tuned for that. The Amazing Digital Circus series will start on this channel throughout May. Very excited to get into that and give you a little bit more of a different format for videos as well that I want to do. I talk about movies, I talk about TV shows, so I do want to start like laser focusing on the ones I really love, not just doing the ones that are just trending and everything out there. It has to be, I'm passionate to talk about it, and the Amazing Digital Circus is one of them. So stay tuned for that. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're going to get deep into it, the lore, the thoughts, the theories that go into it, and just talk and talk and talk. So very excited for that. And of course, once we see the finale and all of that, we'll talk about it, have a discussion. Maybe we'll do a live. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on the Amazing Digital Circus. What has been your favorite character? What has been your favorite episode? What are you excited to see? Are you seeing it in theaters or are you waiting for YouTube? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious to know about it. And it's always that is going to do it for me. Like I said, follow me for more for all the things you love, whether it's the Amazing Digital Circus or a movie or a TV show we probably might talk about here. Don't forget to also follow me on other social media, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, where we post some other things that we might not get to post here. But as always, I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive. And also, what is your theory about what's going on? So I have my own theory, which I'm going to be discussing. I worked through this theory from the first viewing, and I also will be refining it as I watch it one more time each episode. And maybe we'll be right, maybe we'll be wrong, but that's fun. That's the fun thing about these things. We discuss them and we see what we each got from it, and then we're just like, that was interesting. So like I said, it's always great to have your theory, but at the same time, let the show do what the show is going to do, or the movie, right? It's going to do what it's going to do, and just accept it for what it is, right? But as always, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, follow us wherever you can. Drop your theories down below. Stay tuned for the series we're going to be doing on the Amazing Digital Circus, with the first episode coming out this Friday on episode 1. Don't want to miss that, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.
What did any of that mean?